Disaster in Seashell City, written and illustrated by 4th, 7th, and 8th grade and talented art students at South Cameron High School in Cameron Parish. In the year 2005, Herman the hermit crab was enjoying life on a beautiful sandy beach located in Cameron Parish, Louisiana. Herman was the music teacher at the local school, South Shell School. He was considered a very handsome crab, and he was loved by all the crab children in the school. His small body and 4 walking legs were brownish black. He had bright red eyes that were as round as circles. He had 2 pointy claws. One claw was very large, and the second claw was smaller. His most prized possession was his precious accordion that he played in the town band, the Rock Shell Zydeco Band. Herman lived in Seashell City. The small, colorful city was located on the beach, which was next to the beautiful blue-green water of the Gulf of Mexico. Seashell City was a very quiet little city. In fact, it was so quiet that you could hear the grass growing in the nearby marshlands. Herman lived in a small, comfortable shell house near the school and near the Shell Amax movie theater. Taco Shell was within crawling distance of Herman's house. All the crabs in Seashell City were very excited because Amax Shells had just recently opened for business. Early one morning, Herman was watching his favorite television show, Ultimate Shell Fighting, on Crab Communication. Suddenly, an emergency weather alert popped up on the Shell 7 News channel. The weather alert announced that a Category 3 hurricane named Rita was going to hit Shell City by nightfall. Every hermit crab in the city must leave immediately. Herman was so nervous and anxious that he barely packed anything. The only item he grabbed on his way out of the door was his precious accordion. All the crabs were going crazy trying to leave the city, and the traffic was horrible. Herman left Seashell City and went to Shellport to stay in a hurricane shelter until the storm was over. 2 weeks later, when Herman and the other crabs were finally allowed back into Seashell City, they found everything demolished. Their beautiful city was gone. They had lost everything. The only thing Herman had left was his precious accordion. Fortunately, Herman did have insurance on his shell house, so he purchased a double-wide shell trailer with the money. 2 years later, Herman and the hermit crabs had to leave again because another hurricane named Ike hit the little city. Herman left once more with his precious accordion. This time he went to New Charles until the storm passed. When Herman returned, he saw that the water surge from the hurricane had washed everything in Shell City away, including his double-wide shell trailer. Once again, the city was demolished. The crabs were shocked and distraught because there was nothing left. No shell homes, no shell school, nothing. When they left, they had a beautiful home in a lovely city, but now there was nothing, nothing, nothing. Tears began to trickle down all the hermit crab's shell faces because they had nothing. Slowly, Herman began to realize that he did still have his precious accordion, and that gave him hope. Even though his world was falling apart around him, he still had hope because he had his accordion. He had lost his home and everything he owned except his little message of hope. Immediately, Herman began to play his accordion to try to lift the other crab's spirits. Many hermit crabs did not stay to rebuild their shells because they were afraid another storm would come and destroy their shells again. Most of the crabs that stayed, including Herman, did not have any insurance money, so they moved into FEMA shell trailers supplied by the government. Eventually, Herman and the other hermit crabs received loans from the Krabby Villa Public Bank. They all planned to rebuild their double-wide shell trailers bigger and stronger. They would follow new city codes and build their trailers higher up on small mounds of sand or on pilings. These codes would make sure that the shell homes would survive any hurricane. The whole town celebrated this new start with a festival called the Crab to Shell Festival because they all knew in their hearts that what seemed to be the end was really a new bright beginning. A hermit crab is never whipped until he quits. In order to get from what was to what will be, you must go through what is. The end. Disaster in Seashell City is a fictional story based on the true story of Cameron Parish. Cameron Parish is located in Louisiana on the Gulf of Mexico. It was a thriving parish until the communities in South Cameron were demolished by Hurricane Rita in 2005. The Cameron Courthouse was the only main structure that remained. The people of Cameron Parish worked diligently rebuilding their communities, but unfortunately, another hurricane named Ike struck the Gulf Coast in 2007. The water surge from Hurricane Ike demolished everything that had been rebuilt in southern Cameron Parish. Once more, the Cameron Courthouse was the only main structure that survived. Many residents of Cameron Parish did not return after Hurricane Ike. The people that did return are rebuilding the communities. They are building new schools, churches, homes, and businesses. Now, due to stricter codes, the buildings will withstand the fury of any storms that may occur in the future. The people of Cameron Parish have suffered many tragedies, but they are dedicated, resilient, and hard-working families that are determined to regain their land and their homes. This story was written by the children of the parish, who have attended many different schools since 2005. Many of the children were bused to other schools, while portable buildings were brought in to replace their schools. This is the first year for the students of South Cameron High School to attend the new school that was built to replace the portable buildings. The children of Johnson Bayou High School are still attending school in portable buildings. The plan for the new school was recently approved, but they will continue to attend school in the portable buildings until the new school is completed. Also, the students in South Cameron Parish attend school Monday through Thursday in order to help with the rebuilding of the communities on the weekends.